शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्ज सम्भावितललाटकं हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करस्रजं। வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு ஹரஹரோஹரா. லோகவீரியம் மகாபூஜ்யம் சர்வரக்ஷாகரம் விபும் பார்வதி ஹிருதயானந்தம் சாஸ்தாரம் பிரணமாம்யகம். சுவாமியே சரணமையப்பா. वागर्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्तप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। श्रीपार्वती परमेश्वराभ्यां नमः। कोमलं पूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्खकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचरगुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितोऽहमसकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं मनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम्। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन् हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरणभ्यर्थितानपि आर्तान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च। इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्रवाटी ध्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्त्यव्रजोऽयम्। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशी विभूषितकरात् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने. കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വീണ്ടും ഇറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. ഈ തീനു മഞ്ഞനെ കുമ്പിടേണ്ടാത്തോരു പ്രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കനായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ. Good morning, everyone. Okay. I
Good
think
morning.
Amritaji, you wanted to do 39 today, right? We missed it last.
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead with that and then we'll start the class.
Okay. Dasakam 39, Yoga Maya, Nayanadi Varnanam cha. Bhavantamayam Utvakan Yedukulotvaho Nisaranne Tadarshakagano Chalabaram Kalintatmajam Aho Salila Sanjayasa Punaraindara Jalodito Chalauka Iva Tat क्षणात् प्रपदमे यताम् आययौ प्रसुप्तपशुपालिकां निपृताम् आरुदत्पालिकाम् अपावृतकवाटिकां पशुपवाटिकामाविशन् भवन्तमयमर्पयन् प्रसवतल्पके तत्पदात् वहन् कपटकन्यकां स्वपुरमागतो वेगतः ततस्त्वदनुजारव क्षपितनित्रवेगत्रवत् पडोत्करनिवेदित प्रसववार्तयैवार्तिमान् विमुक्तचिगुरोत्करस्त्वरितमापदन् भोजुराटु अदुष्ट इव दृष्टवान् भगिनिकाकरे कन्यकां ध्रुवं कपटशालिनो मधुहरस्य माया भवेत् असाविधि किशोरिकां भगनिका करालिङ्गितां त्विपो नलिनिकान्तरादिव मृणालिकाम् आक्षिपन् अयं त्वदनुजाम् अजाम् उपलपट्टके पिष्टवान् तदो भवद् पासको
WhatsApp messenger.
what am I?
No, keep going.
Okay. Tado bhavadu pasako jaditi mrityu pasadhiva pramuchyadara saivasa samudiruda rupantara adhastalam ajakmushi vigasadashta bahuspuran mahayudam aho kada kila vigaya sadityude नृशंसतर कंस ते किमु मया विनिष्पिष्टया बभूव भवदन्तः क्वचन चिन्त्यतां देहिदम् इति त्वदनुजा विभो कलम् उदीर्यतं जग्मुषि मरुत्कनपनायिद भुवि च मन्दिरन् ये युषि प्रके पुनरकात्मजा वचनमीरिदा भूभुजा प्रलम्बपगपूतना प्रमुखतानवमानिनः भवन्निधन काम्यया जगति बभ्रमुर्निर्भयाः कुमारक विमारकाः कुमारक विमारकाः किमिव दुष्करं निष्कृपैः ततः पशुपमन्दिरे त्वयि मुकुन्दनन्दप्रिया प्रसूदि शयने शये रुदति किञ्चित् अञ्जत्पदे विभूत्यवनिता जनैः तनय सम्भवे कोशिते मुदा किमु वदां यहो मुदा किमु वहां यहो मुदा किमु वदां यहो सकलमाकुलं गोकुलम् अहो खलु यशोदया नवकलाय सेदोहरं भवन्तमलमन्तिके प्रथमम् आपि पन्त्या तृषा पुनस्तनपरं निजं सबदि पाययन्त्या मुदा मनोहरतनुस्पृशा जगति पुण्यवन्तो जिताः भवत्कुशलकाम्यया सकलु नन्दकोपस्तथा प्रमोदपरशङ्कुलो त्वजकुलाय किन्ना ददात् तथैव पशुपालक किमु न मङ्गलं ते निरे जगत्हृदयमङ्गल त्वमिह पाहि मामामयात्
Shikshnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Okay, we'll continue with 41. I think we had finished about 5 stanzas of 41, so we'll continue with the 6th one. All right. First half, Jyoti Dev, can you be a student? And Lakshmi Kamalaji can be a student. The stanza 6. Dine dine tat prativruddha Lakshmihi akshina mangalya shato brajoyam bhavannivasa sudeva pramoda sandra parito vireje. So kind of just a quick recap, right, of what happened. So we saw in 48th Dashakam how Putana comes in the very early days of Krishna, because the third month of Krishna is going to come much later. So this is all happening within the first month or the first 2 months of Krishna being born. And at that time, like Putana comes and then, she tries to kill him by breastfeeding him. But however, Krishna is able to, the Pranavayu comes out and eventually Putana gets liberated. And then the Gopas then have to, burn her body, but the body was so big that they have to chop. And when they burn it, instead of foul smell coming, they were wondering, is am I burning sandalwood? Because that was a sweet smell coming, which was an indication of, what happens, Krishna, when somebody comes in touch with you, right? That's kind of where we ended stanza 5. So here now that is over. So rest of the chakram is more like what is happening with Krishna and the gopi with others, right? So he says, Krishna, of course, when you are there, Mahalakshmi is always there, no doubt about it, because the moment when Krishna was born in that, it says Vakshasthali Sukhanilina Vilasi Lakshmi. So because of Mahalakshmi being there, that entire area of Gokulam was becoming very prosperous, right? So every day it was becoming increasingly prosperous and auspicious because of Mahalakshmi being there as well. And of course, that makes its positive vibrations for everybody there, right? So a lot of auspicious acts were performed and everybody was living very happily there. Dine dinetha prati vriddha Lakshmihi. So the R we're going to remove, put a visarga comma, Lakshmihi. Next word will start with the A. Akshina Mangalya Shato Brajoyam Bhavan Nivasadai Vasudeva, comma, Pramoda Sandraha, put a F Sandra Parito Vireje. Dinhe dineta prativriddha lakshmihi akshina mangalya shato brajoyam bhavan nivasa daiva sudeva pramoda sandra parito vireje.
दिने दिनेध प्रतिवृद्धलक्ष्मीः अक्षीणमाङ्गल्यशतो व्रजोऽयं भवन्निवासादैव सुदेव प्रमोदसान्द्रः परितो विरेजे दिने दिनेध परिवृद्धलक्ष्मीः अक्षीणमाङ्गल्यशतो व्रजोऽयं भवन्निवासादैव सुदेव प्रमोदसान्द्रः परितो विरेजे.
The first line, Jyoti, Prativriddha. I think second time you said Pari.
Okay.
Yeah, Prativriddha. Yeah.
Lakshmi.
दिने दिनेतः प्रतिवृद्धलक्ष्मीः अक्षीणमाङ्गल्यशतो व्रजोऽयं भवन्निवासादैवासुदेवा प्रमोदसान्द्रः परितो विरेजे.
Lakshmi is the second line before the comma, Vasudeva. So there's no A at the end there, okay?
Vasudeva.
Deva.
Okay.
It's not Va, it's just Vasudeva.
Okay, na dirgham. Okay. Dine dineta प्रतिवृद्धलक्ष्मीः अक्षीणमाङ्गल्यशतो व्रजोऽयं भवन्निवासादैवासुदेव वासुदेव प्रमोदसान्द्रः परितो विरेजे.
Yeah, I think in Sanskrit, for those who follow it, when you say, O Vasudeva, O Krishna, right? So it's just like, it doesn't make O Krishna, it's O Krishna, O Vasudeva. The R doesn't come at the end of it. When it's like an exclamation, you say, O, at the beginning of it, right? So.
Thank you, Sarya.
Yeah. Stanza 7. Griheshu te komala rupaha samitah kata sankulitah kamanyah vritteshu krityeshu bhavan niriksha samagata pratyahamatyanandan. So we also see in our own houses and family, when there is a newborn baby, all the excitement revolves around the newborn baby. Everybody discards everything else that's going on. You always talk about, oh, this baby is so cute. This baby did this. He kicked his feet, kicked his hand. Like everything they do is new, and everybody's excited about it. So, of course, Krishna is no different. And of course, when bliss incarnate has incarnated, everybody feels excitement around. That's what was happening. So even from the time you were born, Krishna, the Gopikas kept talking about you during the day, saying, Nanda Gopa is so lucky, Yashoda is so lucky, this baby is, Krishna has not yet been named, right? But I'm just using the word Krishna here for reference, but saying Krishna is, so beautiful, so handsome, he's doing all these things. They constantly keep talking about you, Krishna. And the moment they get done with their work in the evening, they're all they all kind of graze cows, the men graze cows, and the women make milk and butter and sell it. So once it's all done, they all come back to Nanda Gopa's house and Yashoda's house to spend more and more time with Krishna. Griheshu te komala rupa hasa Mitah is there. Put a ih, mitah, and then put a plus. Mitah, katha, sankulitaha. Again, ih, h sound. Sankulitah, kamanyah. So that entire line goes together. Vritteshu, krityeshu, bhavan, niriksha. Another plus. Samagataha. Put a f. Samagata, pratyaha, matyanandan. So that both of those lines will do it continuously. गृहेषु ते कोमलरूपः समितः कथा सङ्कुलिताः कमन्यः वृत्तेषु कृत्येषु भवन्निरीक्षा समागता प्रत्यहमत्यनन्दन्
गृहेषु ते कोमलरूपः समितः कथा सङ्कुलिताः कमन्यः वृत्तेषु कृत्येषु भवन्निरीक्षा समागताः प्रत्यहमत्यनन्दन् गृहेषु ते कोमलरूपः समितः कथा सङ्कुलिताः कमन्यः वृत्तेषु कृत्येषु भवन्निरीक्षा समागताः प्रत्यहमत्यनन्दन्
गृहेषु ते कोमलरूपः संमितः कथा सङ्कुलिताः कमन्यः वृत्तेषु कृत्येषु भवन्निरीक्षा समागताः प्रत्यहमत्यनन्दन्
Second line, samagataः, if sound, samagataः.
Okay. Thank you. गृहेषु ते कोमलरूपः संमिताः कथा सङ्कुलिताः कमन्यः वृत्तेषु कृत्येषु भवन्निरीक्षा समागतः प्रत्यहमत्यनन्दन्.
The first line, Lakshmi, I'm hearing hasam. I'm hearing the im sound. There's no im there. Hasa.
Hasa. Oh, no makaram, right? No makaram.
No makaram. That mitha is a separate word. So hasa mitah katha.
गृहेषु ते कोमलरूपहासा.
Yeah.
Then thank you. Yeah.
That's
Then
it.
there is no comma after hasa, right?
No comma. The whole line goes together. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it. Aho kumaro mayi datta drishtihi smitam kritam mam prativatsakena ehehi mamityupasarya pani tvahi shakim kim na kritam vadhubihi. I'll say the meaning of 8 and 9 together. Aho kumaro mayi datta drishtihi, comma, smitam kritam mam prativatsakena ehyehi, it's a half ha there. Ehyehi mam ityupasarya pani. I think some books said panim, but if you have it im, you just change it to pani, long e. Pani, comma, tvaisha kim na kritam vadhubihi. Aho kumaro mayi datta drishtihi smitam kritam mam prativatsakena ekhehi mamityupasarya pani tvahi shakim kim na kritam vadhubihi.
अहो कुमारो मयि दत्तदृष्टिः स्मिदं कृतं मां प्रतिवत्सकेन एहि मामित्युपसार्य पाणि त्वयि शकिं किं न कृतं वधूभिः अहो कुमारो मयि दत्तदृष्टिः स्मिदं कृतं मां प्रतिवत्सकेन एहि मामित्युपसार्य पाणि त्वयि शकिं किं न कृतं वधूभिः
अहो कुमारो मयि दत्तदृष्टिः स्मितं कृतं मां प्रतिवत्सकेन एह्येहि मामित्युपसार्य पाणि त्वयि शकिं किं न कृतं वधूभिः अहो कुमारो मयि दत्तदृष्टिः स्मितं कृतं मां प्रतिवत्सकेन एह्येहि मामित्युपसार्य पाणि त्वयि शकिं किं न कृतं वधूभिः.
That's a 9. Bhavatvapuspаршana kautukena karatkaram gopavadhujaneena नीतस्त्वमाताम्र सरोजमाला व्यालं विलोलं बतुलामलासीः. Like we discussed one time before, right? And for those who came to Dushyant Sridhar's discourse the last 3-4 days, he also mentioned that why doesn't Rama or Krishna just come and get rid of evil people? The reason why it just doesn't just happen instantly, but they have to take an avataram and go through this, especially Krishna avataram, is because so that people can enjoy the love and devotion of the God together, right? Which is what these gopikas are going through. That's why in Krishna avataram there are like thousands and thousands of stanzas written about how they enjoyed being around Krishna without knowing that he is Bhagavan, right? They just loved him as a child. So, which is what these two things are talking about. Each of these gopikas used to go and say, Aho Kumaro, this boy, my Datta Drishti, he's looking at me. So they all compete with each other, saying, what, this boy loves me more, this baby loves me more because he's looking at me, and they keep competing with each other, and but still everybody wants to hold the baby too. So then they keep passing you, oh baby Krishna, from one hand to another hand, and because they all have the red mardani or things in their hand, the hands are red, the palms are red in color. So when they were moving you, oh Krishna, who's black in color, between red hands, it felt like a bumblebee was jumping from one flower to another constantly, going and seeking honey. And that's how all these gopikas were constantly enjoying you and spending time with you, even when you were a baby. And I will explain a little bit of this context in Dashakam 51 when it comes of how the gopikas loved Krishna more than their old baby, their own children, right? So that will come a little bit, it will come in 51. But anyway, so they all enjoyed spending time around Krishna. Bhavat vapuhu, put is Bhavat vapus sparshana kautukena, just touching your body itself got them joy. Kautukena, comma, karatkaram gopa vadhu janena, neetas tvam atamra saroja mala, put a plus, vyalambi lolamba tulam alasihi. The lolamba is referring to the bee here, which is moving around between each of the flowers. Bhavatvapuspārshana kautukena karatkaram gopavadhujanena neetastvamatamra sarojamala vyalam bilolam batulamalaasihi.
भवद्वपुस्पर्शनकौतुकेन करात्करं गोपवधूजनेन नीदस्त्वमादाम्रसरोजमाला व्यालं बिलोलं बतुलामलासीः भवद्वपुस्पर्शनकौतुकेन करात्करं गोपवधूजनेन नीदस्त्वमादाम्रसरोजमाला व्यालं बिलोलं बतुलामलासीः
भवद्वपुस्पर्शनकौतुकेन करात्करं गोपवधूजनेन नीतस्त्वमाताम्रसरोजमाला व्यालं बिलोलं बतुलामलासीः भवद्वपुस्पर्शनकौतुकेन करात्करं गोपवधूजनेन नीतस्त्वमाताम्रसरोजमाला व्यालं बिलोलं बतुलामलासीः.
That's it. Nipayayanti stanam angagam tvam bilokayanti vadanam hasanti dasham yashodha katamam nabheje satadrishaf pahi hare gadhanmam. So no matter how much the gopikas enjoy playing with the baby Krishna, passing him with each other and then hugging him and spending time with him, at the end of the day, when baby Krishna gets tired, where does he go? He has to go to Mother Yashoda because she is the one who has to feed him. So he says, while the gopikas are enjoying so much bliss, imagine Mother Yashoda, because Krishna is lying on her lap, and drinking milk from her breast, and he's smiling when he's drinking because he's feeling happy that he's getting food. So what bliss did Yashoda not enjoy? Like we said, but what keeps coming around to saying, well, all of them are so lucky to spend all this time with Krishna. There's nobody else who had a greater bliss and enjoyment of Krishna than Mother Yashoda did. Because at the end of the day, he's going to come back to her, and then he has to come, drink milk from her, sleep next to her, right, and lie in her lap, which is what Yashoda is also enjoying. So he says, with that, Guru Arapa, please eradicate all my ailments also. Nipayayanti stanam angagam tvam You can break it that ma if you want. Stanam angagam tvam bilokayanti vadanam hasanti dasham yashoda katamam na bheje, comma, sa tadrishaha, put f tadrishaf, pahi hare gadanmam. Nipayayanti stanamangagam tvam bilokayanti vadanam hasanti dasham yashoda katamam na bheje satadrishaf pahi hare gadanmam.
निपाययन्ति स्तनमङ्गगं त्वां विलोकयन्ति वदनं हसन्ति दशां यशोदा कथमां न भेजे सतादृशः पाहि हरे गदान्मां निपाययन्ति स्तनमङ्गगं त्वां विलोकयन्ति वदनं हसन्ति दशां यशोदा कथमां न भेजे सतादृशः पाहि हरे गदान्माम्.
One question. So this is Ankagam or Angakam? Nipayayanti stanam Ankagam I have. Is that correct?
Correct. Ankagam.
Okay. Nipayayanti stanam Ankagam tvam vilokayanti vadanam hasanti dasham yashoda kataman na bheje satadrushah pahi hare gadanmam. Nipayayanti stanamankagam tvam vilokayanti vadanam hasanti dasham yashoda katamanna bheje satadrushah pahi hare gadanmam.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. And it's 41. We move to 42. Sakatasura Vadha Varnanam. That's 42. Sakatasura. And someone. Kadapi janmarkshadine tava prabho nimantrita jnati vadhu mahisura mahanasastvam savidhe nidhayasa mahanasa vrute vrajeshwari. Like within Krishna, we're going to go month by month in some cases. So we saw like the first 2 months or something when Putana came. Now Krishna is turning 3 months old. So when babies turn 3 months old, what they do is they start beginning to turn. They start beginning to lie down on their side or start turning, which is considered that. So that is considered a milestone for the baby, right? So that point or that marker is called as Uttana, because they're ready to turn over or they're ready to lift their head also at the same time. So that is observed as a very religious ceremony. And I know that is the time, at least in Bhagavatam, it says that's the time they start taking Krishna outside of the house. Till then, they don't take the baby out of the house. So anyway, that is considered as a milestone. So then, Nandagopa and Yashoda decide to celebrate that by inviting a lot of brahmanas and everything. And then they perform some Vedic rituals in their house. And as that is going on, Krishna is a 3-month-old baby. So he's getting tired. So Yashoda puts him to sleep, right? And then what she does is she leaves him at a particular point and then she goes inside the kitchen to take care of all the cooking. Kadapi Janmar Kshadine, there's a ir coming there. Janmar Kshadine Tava Prabho, comma, Nimantrita Nyati Vadhu Mahisura Mahana Sastwam Savidhe Nidhaya Sa, comma, Mahana Sadau Bavrite Brajeshwari, longi. Kadapi Janma Kshadine Tava Prabho Nimantrita Vadhu Mahisura Mahanasastvam Savidhe Nidhayasa Mahanasadau Vavrite Brajeshwari.
The
Rajesh ji.
Mahisura Visargam.
Inga?
Yeah, Nimandrida Jnadi, second line.
Anga Visarga ille in a booklet. So,
I am having it.
I think individually when it is there, Mahisuraha will have it. But I think when it's coming as part of the line, it's not there. The individual word has it. So you can just yeah.
One more question, Rajesh ji.
Yeah.
Mahasurava, Mahisurava.
Mahisura.
Big E, Periya E.
Long E. Mahisura.
Mahisura. Okay.
Kada Bijanmarkshadine Tava Prabho Nimandridajnadi Vadhu Mahisura Mahanasastvam Savithe Nidhayasa Mahanasadau Vavrite Brajeshwari Kada Bijanmarkshadine Tava Prabho निमन्त्रितज्ञातिवधूमहीसुरा महानसस्त्वां सविधे निधाय सा महानसादौ ववृधे व्रजेश्वरी
कदापि जन्मर्क्षधिने तव प्रभो निमन्त्रितज्ञातिवधूमहीसुरा महानसस्त्वां सविधे निधाय सा महानसादौ ववृते व्रजेश्वरी कदापि जन्मर्क्षधिने तव प्रभो निमन्त्रितज्ञातिवधूमहीसुरा महानसस्त्वां सविधे निधाय सा महानसादौ ववृते व्रजेश्वरी
Answer 2. ततो भवत्राणनियुक्तबालकप्रभीतिसङ्क्रन्दनसङ्कुलारवैः विमिश्रमश्राविभवत्समीपतः परिस्फुटद्दारुचटच्छटारवः. So like Yashoda then leaves baby Krishna next to some boys. So she tells the Gopa boys that, I have to go take care of the cooking. So you small kids are all playing. So you all take care of Krishna. Let me know when baby Krishna wakes up, right? And then Krishna somehow, I don't know the exact location or how it is, but he is lying next to a cart, right? Where some vessels and everything is kept. And Krishna is lying and all the boys are playing. So like any small baby does, it suddenly wakes up, right? After you leave it. So Krishna also wakes up, and he wakes up, and the moment he wakes up, he wants milk. And he looks around, his mother is not there. And like any baby does, the only thing he can move is move his hands and legs and then cry, which is what Krishna does. But the moment he's moving his legs, he talks about how it just goes near the cart, or maybe just touches the cart when he's actually moving. And the moment he touches the cart, that entire cart breaks, and all the vessels which are there actually come shattering on the ground, right? So here, in Bhagavatam, it says that, oh Krishna, when you had to do, Vamanavataram to touch the world, you had to take a huge form of Vamanavataram. When you have to get rid of Hiranyakashipu, you have to take all that massive form of a half man, half lion with nails and everything. But in Krishna Avataram, nothing is required. You'll still be a 3-year-old baby who can touch the cart with the tip of your feet, and the entire cart comes shattering over, right? So the entire cart breaks and all the vessels get thrown, and that creates a loud noise. The boys who are running there, they all now start running away because they get scared of how this cart broke. Tato bhavat prana niyukta balaka, put a plus, prabhiti sankrandana sankularavahi. That whole line is together. Bimishram ashravi bhavat samipataha, comma, parisputat, just breaking that double the there, parisputat daru chata chataravaha. Chata chataravaha means broken into multiple small pieces. ततो भवत्राणनियुक्तबालकप्रभीतिसङ्क्रन्दनसङ्कुलारवैः विमिश्रमश्राविभवत्समीपतः परिस्फुटद्दारुचटच्छटारवः.
तदो भवत्राणनियुक्तबालकप्रभीतिसङ्क्रन्दनसङ्कुलारवैः विमिश्रमश्राविभवत्समीपतः परिस्फुटद्दारुचटच्छटारवः तदो भवत्राणनियुक्तबालकप्रभीतिसङ्क्रन्दनसङ्कुलारवैः विमिश्रमश्राविभवत्समीपतः परिस्फुटद्दारुचटच्छटारवः
ततो भवत्राणनियुक्तबालकप्रभीतिसङ्क्रन्दनसङ्कुलारवैः विमिश्रमश्राविभवत्समीपतः परिस्फुटद्दारुचटच्छटारवः ततो भवत्राणनियुक्तबालकप्रभीतिसङ्क्रन्दनसङ्कुलारवैः विमिश्रमश्राविभवत्समीपतः परिस्फुटद्दारुचटच्छटारवः.
Sanchati. ततस्तथा कर्णनसम्भ्रम श्रमप्रकम्पि वक्षोजभरा व्रजाङ्गनाः भवन्तमन्तर्ददृशुः समन्ततो विनिष्पतद्दारुणदारुमध्यगम्. So of course, when the cart breaks and all the vessels all fall on the floor, it creates a lot of noise. And so everybody comes running, right? Of course, Mother Yashoda is the first to come running. And when they come there, they see that all this cart is broken, and then all the vessels are lying on the floor. And in the middle of all of that, Krishna is still lying. So that's what they all see when they actually come running there. Tatas tada karnana sambrama shrama, put a plus, prakampi bakshoja bhara brajanganaha. So that lines together. Bhavantam antar dadrushus samantato, comma, vinishpatat. So I'm just breaking that double there again. Vinishpatat daruna daru madhyagam. Tatastadha karnana sambrama shrama prakampi bakshoja bhara brajanganaha bhavantamantardadrushu samantato vinishpatad daruna daru madhyakam.
तदस्तदा कर्णनसम्भ्रमश्रमप्रगम्भिवक्षोजभरा व्रजाङ्गनाः भवन्तमन्तर्ददृशुः समन्ददो विनिष्पदद्दारुणदारुमध्यगम् तदस्तदा कर्णनसम्भ्रमश्रमप्रगम्भिवक्षोजभरा व्रजाङ्गनाः भवन्तमन्तर्ददृशुः समन्ददो विनिष्पदद्दारुणदारु मध्यगम्.
You think the second line after samantato kapram comma irukku. Okay, the second line. The first line is continuous. Second line after dadrushu samantato, and then there is a comma there.
Okay. Anga pause பண்ணிட்டு வினிஷ்பதத்தாருண.
Yeah.
Okay.
ततस्तदा कर्णनसम्भ्रमश्रमप्रकम्पिवक्षोजभरा व्रजाङ्गनाः भवन्तमन्तर्ददृशुः समन्ततो विनिष्पतद्दारुणदारुमध्यगम् ततस्तदा कर्णनसम्भ्रमश्रमप्रकम्पिवक्षोजभरा व्रजाङ्गनाः भवन्तमन्तर्ददृशुः समन्ततो विनिष्पतद्दारुणदारुमध्यगम्.
शिशोरहो किमभूदिते द्रुतं प्रदाव्यनन्दः पशुपाश्च भूसुराः भवन्तमालोक्य यशोदया धृतं समाश्वसन्नश्रुजलार्द्रलोचनाः. So always, this will become like a repetitive thing. I'll say this in every dashakam because that's how it always ends up happening. First, Yashoda will come, and then she finds Krishna. Then all the gopikas come running, and then they will find it is there. And only later Nandagopa and everybody end up coming, just because of who has maybe access to the baby, right? First. So anyway, all these Brahmanas and Gopas and Nandagopa, they all come running because even they hear the noise. But when they come, they see that the baby is safe in Yashoda's hands because she's already picked up the baby from in between all of the trouble. And then they all feel very happy seeing that baby is fine, but they're still beginning to wonder, what happened to the child? And it goes further into a few stanzas as well. They're wondering, how is the child doing? Shishoraho kim kimabhuditi, short e, kimabhuditi drutam, comma, pradavya nandaha, put a F, nanda, pashupascha bhusuraha bhavantam alokya yashodaya dhritam, comma, samashvasannashru, there's double na there, samashvasannashru jalardra lochanaha. Shishoraho kimabhudite drutam pradhavyanandah pashupascha bhusuraha bhavantamalokya yashodaya dhritam samashvasannashru jalardra lochanaha.
शिशोरहो किमुभूत् इति द्रुतं प्रधाव्यनन्दः पशुपाश्च भूसुराः भवन्तमालोक्य यशोदया धृतं समाश्वसन्नश्रुजलार्द्रलोचनाः. शिशोरहो किमुभूत् इति द्रुतं प्रधाव्यनन्दः पशुपाश्च भूसुराः भवन्तमालोक्य यशोदया धृतं समाश्वसन्नश्रुजलार्द्रलोचनाः.
शिशोरहो किमभूदिति द्रुतं प्रधाव्यनन्दः पशुपाश्च भूसुराः भवन्तमालोक्य यशोदया धृतं समाश्वसन्न सृजलार्द्रलोचनाः शिशोरहो किमभूदिति द्रुतम् प्रधाव्यनन्दः पशुपाश्च भूसुराः भवन्तमालोक्य यशोदयाद्धृतम् समाश्वसन्न सृजलार्द्रलोचनाः.
One small just thing. The first line before the comma, it is oo sound, dhrutam. Okay.
Dhrutam.
Second line is dhritam, r sound.
शिशोरहो किमभूदिति dhrutam.
Correct.
Dhrutam tam amkar.
Yeah. Okay, so oo sound first da of Sanskrit. Second is the second dha of Sanskrit with a r sound, dhritam.
Bhu vachinappudu ukara sound. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
That's fine. Kasko nu kautas kuta esha vismayo vishankatam yachakatam vipatitam na karanam kinchidiheti te stitaha swanasika dattakarastvadikshakaha. So well, they were all very happy that nothing has happened to Krishna, but they're all still wondering how is it possible that this cart which was there is suddenly now shattered and all these vessels are lying on the floor, right? So they all begin to wonder, they all look for logical explanation of why this has happened or how this actually happened. And it talks about how the axle has come off, the wheel has come off, the handles have come off, so everything, because it's broken into pieces, right? So they're still wondering how did this actually happen. It talks about how they're keeping their fingers on their nose because they're wondering how this all happened, and they're not able to come with an answer. Kasko nu kautas kuta esha vismayo, vishankatam yachakatam vipatitam na karanam kinchidiheti. You can just say it as one word. Kinchidiheti te stitaha, swanasika datta karas twadikshakaha. Kasko nu kautas kuta esha vismayo vishankatam yachakatam vipatitam na karanam kinchidiheti te stitaha swanasika datta karas twadikshakaha.
Rajesh ji,
Yeah.
small question. The third line, nakaranama illa na karanama?
Na. It's not a na.
Na karanam.
Yeah, na karanam, but I'm trying not to put the sound too much at the end. But
Okay.
yes, na karanam. So no reason. That's what it is really. So
Kasko nu kaudaskuda esha vismayo vishankadam yachakadam vipaditam nakaranam kinchidiheti te stitaha swanasiga dattakarastvadikshakaha. Kasko nu kaudaskuda esha vismayo vishankadam yachakadam vipaditam nakaranam kinchidiheti te stitaha swanasika dattakarastvadikshakaha.
Kasko nu kautaskuta esha vismayo vishankatam yachakatam vipatitam nakaranam kinchidiheti te stitaha swanasika dattakarastvadikshakaha. Kasko nu kautaskuta esha vismayo vishankatam yachakatam vipatitam nakaranam kinchidiheti te stitaha swanasika dattakarastvadikshakaha.
answer 6. Kumarakasyasya payodharartinah prarodhane lolapadambujahatam maya drishtamano viparyagat itishate palaka balaka jaguhu. Just combine 6, 7, 8, 9 meanings. Kumarakasyasya payodharartinah. One word. Payodharartinah, prarodhane lola padambujahatam maya drishtamano viparyagat. You'll have a D. We just break the D into a it and a E. So viparyagat, Next word will start with the E. Itisha te palaka balaka jaguhu. कुमारकस्यास्य पयोधरार्तिनः प्ररोदने लोलपदाम्बुजाहतम् मया दृष्टमनो विपर्यगात् इतीशते पालकबालका जगुः.
कुमारगस्यास्य पयोधरार्थिनः प्ररोदने लोलपदाम्बुजाहतम् मया दृष्टमनो विपर्यगात् इदीशते पालकबालका जगुः. कुमारगस्यास्य पयोधरार्थिनः प्ररोदने लोलपदाम्बुजाहतम् मया दृष्टमनो विपर्यगात् इदीशते पालकबालका जगुः.
कुमारकस्यास्य पयोधरार्तिनः प्ररोदने लोलपदाम्बुजाहतम् मया दृष्टमनो विपर्यगात् इतीशते पालकबालका जगुः. कुमारकस्यास्य पयोधरार्तिनः प्ररोदने लोलपदाम्बुजाहतम् मया दृष्टमनो विपर्यगात् इतीशते पालकबालका जगुः.
Stanza 7. भिया तदा किञ्चिदजानतामिदं कुमारकानाम् अतिदुर्घटं वचः भवत्प्रभावाविदुरैरितीरितं मनागिवाशङ्क्यत दृष्टपूतनैः. So all these adults are sitting and wondering, how did this cart break? How did it get shattered into pieces? And how come nothing happened to Krishna? The boys who were there are very confident. They say, Maya Drishta. He says, I saw how this happened. He says, when this baby was moving its feet, the baby was sleeping. It woke up because it probably was hungry and it moved its feet and the feet touched the cart and the cart just shattered and all these things went. No, but then of course, adults are like, what are you telling? Like, how is it possible? Like, it's a 3-month-old baby, touching its feet and all this cart, falling. So none of them believe it. And the same thing will happen entire Krishna. The boys always, the Gopa boys always have a front row seat to whatever Krishna is doing. And nobody else gets a chance, right? So they are saying, no, we are very sure Krishna did this. So like it's impossible, So but however, so they all dismiss it because, like I said, none of these people know that Krishna is an incarnation except Vasudeva and Devaki, right? They are the only ones who know at this point. So they all dismiss it. However, there are some people who are beginning to wonder, hold on, like the other day, Putana came or the Rakshasi came and she literally tried to kill the baby. And we saw how big Putana was, but nothing happened to the baby. And now today, this Shakatasura, the Shakatam refers to the cart. The entire cart is shattered, the vessels are all flown away, but the baby is lying in the middle, completely unimpacted. So they're saying, there's something about this baby unique, right? This baby is somehow surviving through all of these things. Like, that untouchable, what is it? Manoj, M. Night Shyamalan's movies that one of them gets always sick, other person doesn't get sick, right? Something like that. So unbreakable or Bhiya Tada Kinchida Janatamidam. If you want to break it, it's Kinchid Ajanatamidam, or you can say it together. Kinchida Janatamidam, comma. Kumarakanam Ati Durgatam Vachaha Bhavat Prabhava Vidurair. I'm just breaking at that re if you want to. Bhavat Prabhava Vidurair Itiritam, comma. Managi Vashankyata. That's one word. Managi Vashankyata Drishta Putanaihi. Dhiya tada kinchidajanatamidham कुमारकाणाम् अतिदुर्घटं वचः भवत्प्रभावाविदुरैरितीरितं मनागिवाशङ्क्यत दृष्टपूतनैः.
धिया तदा किञ्चिदजानतामिदं कुमारकाणामधिदुर्घटं वचः भवत्प्रभावाविदुरैरितीरितं मनागिवाशङ्क्यदृष्टपूतनैः. धिया तदा किञ्चिदजानतामिदं कुमारकाणामधिदुर्घटं वचः भवत्प्रभावाविदुरैरितीरितं मनागिवाशङ्क्यदृष्टपूतनैः.
धिया तदा किञ्चिदजानतामिदं कुमारकाणाम् अतिदुर्घटं वचः भवत्प्रभावा विदुरैरितीरितं मनागिवाशङ्क्यत दृष्टपूतनैः भिया तदा किञ्चिदजानतामिदं कुमारकाणाम् अतिदुर्घटं वचः भवत्प्रभावा विदुरैरितीरितं मनागिवाशङ्क्यत दृष्टपूतनैः.
That's it. प्रफालताम्रं किमिदं पदं क्षतं सरोजरम्यौ नुकरौ विरोचितौ इति प्रसर्पत्करुणातरङ्गिताः त्वदङ्गमापस्पृशुरङ्गना जनाः. See 8 and 9 together. प्रबालताम्रं किमिदं पदं क्षतं, सरोजरम्यौ नुकरौ विरोचितौ इति प्रसर्पत् karuna tarangitaha. So remove that is, put a visarga and comma, nangitaha. So the next word, I'm going to break it into three parts. Twadangam apasprishur, the ra I'm breaking, apasprishur anganajanaha. So, or you can say it together, but if you want to break it, those are the three places to break. प्रवालताम्रं किमिदं पदं क्षतं सरोजरम्यौ नुकरौ विरोजितौ इति प्रसर्पत्करुणातरङ्गिताः त्वदङ्गमापस्पृशुरङ्गना जनाः.
प्रबालताम्रं किमिदं पदं क्षतं सरोजरम्यौ नुकरौ विरोचितौ इति प्रसर्पत्करुणातरङ्गिताः त्वदङ्गमापस्पृशुरङ्गना जनाः. प्रबालताम्रं किमिदं पदं क्षतं सरोजरम्यौ नुकरौ विरोचितौ इति प्रसर्पत्करुणातरङ्गिताः त्वदङ्गमापस्पृशुरङ्गना जनाः.
प्रवालताम्रं किमिदं पदं क्षतं सरोजरम्यौ नुकरौ विरोजितौ इति प्रसर्पत्करुणातरङ्गिताः त्वदङ्गमापस्पृशरङ्गना जनाः.
Prishur, that last line, sprishur angana janaha.
त्वदङ्गमापस्पृशु. प्रवालताम्रं किमिदं पदं क्षतं सरोजरम्यौ नुकरौ विरोजितौ इति प्रसर्पत्करुणातरङ्गिताः त्वदङ्गमापस्पृशुरङ्गना जनाः.
All right, we'll just switch halfway here. Jyoti Chandranji, you can be student, and Padmaja Milkundramji, you can be student. Sansanai. Ayi sutam dehi jagatpate kripa tarangapatat paripada madhyame iti sma sangrihya pita twadangakam muhur muhuslishyati jata kantakaha. So while all these people are arguing how it broke, why it broke and all that, the main thing they are worried about, the Gopika says, doesn't matter how it broke or how it happened, our baby is safe, right? And this baby, which has got, like it talks about, very tender leaves like small hands, because 3 months old, right? And then very lotus like small feet, nothing has happened. There's not even a scratch that has actually happened to the baby. So the baby is safe. That's the most important thing. So as they are kind of, Angana Jana, all the women, as they're hugging Krishna, of course, Yashoda also comes and she takes over and she starts feeding Krishna, because saying, nothing has happened to my baby. Then Nanda Gopa comes next. He's saying, it's all because of, God's blessings that nothing has happened to my baby. We've invited all these Brahmanas here to perform all this function, and it is because of all these blessings that the baby has come out unscathed, right? So they all start, at least thankful to God that nothing has happened to Krishna here. Aye sutam dehi jagatpatehe, put a jagatpateh kripa. So it's because of the kripai of the Jagatpata, who is the Lord of the universe. Put a plus. Taranga patat paripatam adhyame. The entire line is together. Iti sma sangrihya pita twadangakam, muhur muhuhu, put a ish, muhur muhush Shlishyati Jata Kantakaha. Jata Kantaka saying he has his horripilation all over his body, hair standing because he's so, happy finally that nothing happened to the child. Ahe sutam dehi jagatpate kripatarangapātāt paripāta madhyame iti sma sangrihya pita tvadangakam muhur muhuslishyati jata kantakaha.
अये सुदं देहि जगत्पदे कृपातरङ्गपादात् परिपादमत्यमे इति स्म सङ्गृह्य पिता त्वदङ्गकं मुहुर्मुहुश्लिष्यति जातकण्डकः अये सुदं देहि जगत्पदे कृपातरङ्गपादात् परिपादमध्यमे इति स्म सङ्गृह्य पिता त्वदङ्गकं मुहुर्मुहुः श्लिष्यति जातकण्डकः
अये सुतं देहि जगत्पतेः कृपातरङ्गपातात् परिपातमध्यमे इति स्म सङ्गृह्य पिता त्वदङ्गकं मुहुर्मुहुः श्लिष्यति जातकण्टकः अये सुतं देहि जगत्पतेः कृपातरङ्गपातात् परिपातमध्यमे इति स्म सङ्गृह्य पिता त्वदङ्गकं मुहुर्मुहुः श्लिष्यति जातकण्टकः.
That's it. Anu nilina kila hantumagatah surarirevam bhavata bhimsitah rajopi no drishtamamushyatat katam sa shuddha sattve tvailina vandhruvam. 10 and 9 together. Anu nilinah, put ih, nilinah, kila hantum agatah, comma, surari revam bhavata bhimsitah rajopi no drishtam amushya. If you want to break it, that ma drishtam amushya tat katam, comma, sa shuddha sattve tvai linavan dhruvam. Anu nilinah kila hantumagatah surarirevam bhavata bhimsitah rajopi no drishtam tat katam sa shuddha sattve tvai linavan dhruvam.
अनो निलीनः किल हन्तुमागतः सुरारिरेवं भवदा विहिंसितः रजोऽपि नो दृष्टममुष्य तत्कथं सशुद्धसत्त्वे त्वयि लीनवान् ध्रुवम् अनो निलीनः किल हन्तुमागतः सुरारिरेवं भवदा विहिंसितः रजोऽपि नो दृष्टममुष्य तत्कथं सशुद्धसत्त्वे त्वयि लीनवान् ध्रुवम्
अनो निलीनः किल हन्तुमागतः सुरारिरेवं भवता विहिंसितः रजोऽपि नो दृष्टममुष्य तत्कथं सशुद्धसत्त्वे त्वयि लीनवान् ध्रुवम् अनो निलीनः किल हन्तुमागतः सुरारिरेवं भवता विहिंसितः रजोऽपि नो दृष्टममुष्य तत्कथं सशुद्धसत्त्वे त्वयि लीनवान् ध्रुवम्.
That's 11. प्रपूजितैस्तत्र ततो द्विजातिभिः विशेषतो लम्भितमङ्गलाशिषः व्रजं निजैर्बाल्यरसैर्विमोहयन् मरुत्पुराधीशरुजां जहीहि मे. Coming back to that Shakatam itself. So, like I said, we will see that all these Kamsa's emissaries, they're all going to be coming in different forms and shapes. Everybody, right from Putana, Sakatasura, the next one, Trinavarta, then, all of them are going to come in various shapes. Some of them, we'll see that they will get their original form, like how we saw in Putana's case. In this case, Shakatasura, there's no sight of that Asura at all. And the explanation that Bhattatripad gives here is saying that the moment you touched Krishna, in his case, because everybody has different experience, in his case, he got pure sattva guna and he immediately merged into you. So there was no visible form of that asura who was actually there. So that's why it's called Sakatasura who was there, but there's no visible form of him. And then he's actually become pure sattva guna coming in contact with you, and then he then merged into you. So with that, this Dashakam comes to an end. The Brahmanas who are there, they complete the necessary proceedings for that day, bless the baby, Krishna, and then they also leave. So with this, so Krishna, you keep the Gopas and Gopikas constantly engaged with some activity of yours. It's just been 3 months, but already there's so much action taking place, right? And then you continue to keep them always engaged and, in love with you. So Guru Arapa, please eradicate my ailments. Prapujitais tatra tato dvijatibihi. Put a visarga and comma. Dvijatibihi. Next, on that visheshato, there is a ir that will go away. Visheshato lambita mangalashishaha. Brajam nijair balya rasair vimohayan, comma. Marutpuradhisha rujam jahihime. प्रपूजितैस्तत्र ततो द्विजातिभिः विशेषतो लम्भितमङ्गलाशिषः व्रजं निजैर्बाल्यरसैर्विमोहयन् मरुत्पुराधीशरुजां जहीहि मे.
प्रपूजितैस्तत्र ततो द्विजातिभिः विशेषतो लम्भितमङ्गलाशिषः व्रजं निजैर्बाल्यरसैर्विमोहयन् मरुत्पुराधीशरुजां जहीहि मे. प्रपूजितैस्तत्र ततो द्विजातिभिः विशेषतो लम्भितमङ्गलाशिषः व्रजं निजैर्बाल्यरसैर्विमोहयन् मरुत्पुराधीशरुजां जहीहि मे.
प्रपूजितैस्तत्र ततो द्विजातिभिः विशेषतो लम्भितमङ्गलाशिषः व्रजन्निजैर्बाल्यरसैर्विमोहयन् मरुत्पुराधीशरुजां जहीहि मे. प्रपूजितैस्तत्र ततो द्विजातिभिः विशेषतो लम्भितमङ्गलाशिषः व्रजन्निजैर्बाल्यरसैर्विमोहयन् मरुत्पुराधीशरुजां जहीहि मे.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. 40, 50, 60 dashakams are all very small. So typically we'll go at the rate of like 2 dashakams per class. We'll eventually catch up to completing, I don't think we'll complete 43 today, but at some point we'll end it at the right end and then we'll do 2 at a time. So 43 is Trinavartha Vadha Varnanam. So Trinavartha is the person, is the asura coming here. I wanted to send a video of the sandstorm that came in Chicago downtown, 3 days back. There is like a time-lapse video of how bright it was and how in a 30-minute period it became extremely dark. I wanted to send it, but I forgot to send it. But it's very relevant for 43. So, stanza 1. Tvamekadha gurumarutpuranata bodhum गाढादिरूढगरिमानमपारयन्ति माता निधाय शयने किमिदं बतेति ध्यायन्त्यचेष्टत गृहेषु निविष्टशङ्का. So time moves, right? And then from 3 months, it is now Krishna is about to become a year old. So it's kind of reaching the 12-month stage right now. Still, Mother Yashoda is feeding him, right? Putting Krishna in her lap and breastfeeding him. So suddenly one day she's finding that the baby has become very heavy, that the mother is not able to hold on to the baby. So she's getting very worried. She lifts Krishna all the time, so she knows how much Krishna weighs. But today somehow Krishna is weighing more than average, right? So she suddenly, as a mother, she's panicking, saying that, what, maybe it's some evil spirit, something has happened, or some planet influence is happening, that my baby is suddenly becoming heavy. So she gets very worried. So she puts the baby down and then she immediately goes to, inform Nandagopa to go call some priest or somebody to come and do some puja to the baby. So nothing happens to him. So Tvam Ekada Guru Marut Puranatha Bodhum, Gadhadi Rudha Garimanam Aparayanti. I'm just breaking at that ma. Garimanam aparayanti. Mata nidhaya shayane kimidam bateti, short e, comma. Dhyayantya cheshtata, one word. Dhyayantya cheshtata griheshu nivishta shankha. So she is then beginning to worship the Lord. Dhyayantam. She's worship Dhyayanti. She's worshipping the Lord, saying, please, I don't know what is happening. Maybe I think he may be falling sick or something. So she, prays to the Lord, and then she informs Nandagopa, and then she gets on with her regular household activities. त्वामेकधा गुरुमरुत्पुरनाथवोढुं गाढाधिरूढगरिमानमपारयन्ती माता निधाय शयने किमिदं बतेति ध्यायन्त्यचेष्टतगृहेषु निविष्टशङ्का.
त्वामेकदा गुरुमरुत्पुरनाथवोढुं गाढाधिरूढ गरिमाणमपारयन्ती मादा निधाय शयने किमिदं बदेति ध्यायन्त्यचेष्टदगृहेषु निविष्टशङ्का. त्वामेकदा गुरुमरुत्पुरनाथवोढुं गाढाधिरूढ गरिमाणमपारयन्ती मादा निधाय शयने किमिदं बदेति ध्यायन्त्यचेष्टदगृहेषु निविष्टशङ्का.
त्वामेकदा गुरुमरुत्पुरनाथवोढुं गाढाधिरूढ गरिमाणम् अपारयन्ति माता निधाय शयने किमिदं बतेति ध्यायन्त्यचेष्टत गृहेषु
निविष्टशङ्का.
निविष्टशङ्का. त्वामेकदा गुरुमरुत्पुरनाथवोढुं गाढाधिरूढ गरिमाणम् अपारयन्ति माता निधाय शयने किमिदं बतेति ध्यायन्त्यचेष्टत गृहेषु निविष्टशङ्का.
Answer 2. तावद् विधूरम् उपकर्णित घोर घोष व्याजृम्बिपांसु पटली परिपूरिताशः वात्यावपुस्स किल दैत्यवरस्तृणावर्ताख्यो जहार जनमानसहारिणं त्वाम्. So that was a time when the Krishna was lying somewhere inside the house, and or somewhere in the courtyard, and Yashoda had gone inside to perform whatever she had to do. So at that time, like a tornado, a whirlwind comes, right? And that is an asura called as Trinavartha. So who's actually coming in the form of a tornado or a whirlwind, right? And then he comes, and then he's swirling around. And then, of course, naturally, when he comes, it's uprooting the trees, uprooting the houses and everything along the way. And when it comes to Nandagopa's house, he ends up picking Krishna also along with him. See, Bhattacharya says, Krishna, you are the one who takes everybody along with you. You are the one who steals everybody's hearts. But however, this Trinavarta decided that he wants to steal you away as well. And then he lifts Krishna and then takes him into the air. Tavat Viduram Upakarnita, if you want to break at that ma, Upakarnita, Ghora Ghosha, put a plus, Vyajrumbi Pamsu Patali, Paripuritashaha. So those two lines together. Vatya Vapus Sakila, Daitya Varas. I'm going to join the third and fourth line together. Daitya Varas, Trinavartakyo, because it's Trinavarta Akyo, two different words joined together. So Trinavartakyo Jahara Janamanasa Harinam Tvam. Tavad Vidhuram Upakarnita Ghora Ghosha Vyajrum Bipamsu Patali Paripuritashaha Vatyavapussa Kila Daitya Varastrinavartakyo Jahara Janamanasa Harinam Tvam.
तावद्विदूरमुपकर्णितघोरघोष व्याजृम्भिपांसु पडली परिपूरिताशः वात्यावपुस्स किल दैत्यवरस्तृणावर्ताख्यो जहार जनमानसहारिणं त्वाम्. तावद्विदूरमुपकर्णितघोरघोषव्याजृम्भि पांसु पडली परिपूरिताशः वात्यावपुः स किल दैत्यवरस्तृणावर्ताख्यो जहार जनमान सहारिणं त्वाम्
तावद्विदूरमुपकर्णितघोरघोषाव्याजृम्बिपां सुपटली परिपूरिताशः वात्या वपुस्स किल दैत्यवरसृणावर्ताख्यो जहार जनमानस हारिणं त्वाम् व्याजृम्भिपां सुपटली परिपूरिताशः वात्या वपुस्स किल दैत्यवरसृणावराख्यो जहार जनमानसहारिणं त्वाम्.
The second time when you said the third line, fourth line, Daitya Varas Trinavartakyo.
वात्या वपुस्स किल दैत्यवरसृणावराख्यो जहार
Trinavart, yeah, the tha has to come there. Trinavartakyo.
तृणावर्ताख्यो.
Yeah, exactly. The ta sound is there. Trinavarta. So the ta is there.
Okay, thank you.
Stanza 3. Uddhama sutimirahata drishnipate drashtum kimapyakushale pashupalaloke ha balakasya kimite tvadupantamapta mata bhavantamabhilokya brisham rurodha. So, of course, when the tornado or a whirlwind comes, right, ghora ghosha, like it said in the previous stanza, it creates a lot of noise. The whirling of the wind creates a lot of noise. So there was terrible noise that was actually heard all over Gokulam, and it also stirs up like a dust storm, like we saw on Friday, Wednesday or Friday, right? So it creates that dust storm there, and all this noise is coming, and of course it becomes very dark. That was a video I was referring to how Chicago downtown became completely dark. So similarly, it becomes completely dark at the time as well. And so nobody knew what was happening. So they lost sense of all the direction. Everybody is running around in Gokulam. The houses are getting uprooted. The trees are falling down, But Yashoda had only one concern because she left her baby somewhere in the house. And only she knows where she left the baby, right? So as a mother, she at least had that direction of the baby was kept there. So she runs towards that place to pick the baby, but she sees that Krishna is not there, right? So everybody else is screaming and running around, but in this commotion, Yashoda goes there to pick Krishna and she doesn't find Krishna there. And then Ruro there. So when she doesn't find Krishna, she starts crying loudly. Uddama Pamsu Timirahat Drishtipaate, Drashtum Kimapya Kushale Pashupala Loke Ha Balakasya Kimiti Twadupantam Apta, Mata Bhavantam Aviloke. I'm just breaking at that ma. Bhavantam Aviloke Brisham Ruroda. Uddhama sutimirahata drishtipate drashtum kimapyakushale pashupalaloke ha balakasya kimite tvadupantamapta mata bhavantam avilokya bhrisham ruroda.
उद्दामपां सुतिमिराहददृष्टिपादे द्रष्टुं किमप्यकुशले पशुपाललोके हा बालकस्य किमिति त्वदुपान्तमाप्ता मादा भवन्तमविलोक्य भृशं रुरोदा उद्दामपां सुतिमिराहददृष्टिपादे द्रष्टुं किमप्यकुशले पशुपाललोके हा बालकस्य किमिति त्वदुपान्तमाप्ता मादा भवन्तमविलोक्य भृशं रुरोदा.
Ruroda. Sorry, the last.
Okay, sorry. Ruroda.
उद्दामपां सुतिमिराहतदृष्टिपाते द्रष्टुं किमप्यकुशले पशुपाललोके हा बालकस्य किमिति त्वदुपान्तमाप्ता माता भवन्तम् अविलोक्य भृशं रुरोद उद्दामपांसुतिमिराहत दृष्टिपाते द्रष्टुं किमप्यकुशले पशुपाललोके हा बालकस्य किमिति त्वदुपान्तमाप्ता माता भवन्तम् अविलोक्य भृशं रुरोद.
Stanza 4. तावत् सधानववरोऽपि च दीनमूर्तिः भावत्कभारपरिधारणलूनवेगः सङ्कोचमापतदनुक्षतपां सुघोषे घोषे व्यतायत भवज्जननी निनादः. So this Asura Trinavarta, he then, who's in the form of this whirlwind, he has then lifted Krishna up and then taken Krishna up in the air, right? So as he's swirling, the baby is also swirling along with the wind and it is going up. And then, of course, the wind is still going through Gokulam. So when it is actually going there at that point, everybody is like yelling and screaming because everybody is worried about it, they could not see anything. Eventually, their noise, the wind's noise subside. When the wind's noise subside, then everyone is able to hear Yashoda's crying. So the moment they heard Yashoda yelling and crying, they all come to realize that something is wrong with Krishna. So they all then rush to see what has happened to Yashoda. Tavat sa danavavaropi cha dina murtihi. Put a visarga and comma. Next line, the bhavatka, there's a ir on top that will go away. Bhavatka bhara paridharana luna begah sankochamaapa tadanu kshata pamsu ghoshe, ghoshe vyatayata bhavaj janani ninadah. तावत् सधानववरोऽपि च दीनमूर्तिः भावत्कभारपरिधारणलूनवेगः सङ्कोचमापतदनुक्षतपां सुघोषे घोषे व्यतायत भवज्जननी निनादः.
तावत् सदानववरोऽपि च दीनमूर्तिः भावत्कभारपरिधारणलूनवेगः सङ्कोचमाप तदनुच्छतपां सुघोषे घोषे व्यतायत भवज्जननी निनादः. तावत् सदानववरोऽपि च दीनमूर्तिः भावत्कभारपरिधारणलूनवेगः सङ्कोचमाप तदनुच्छतपां सुघोषे घोषे व्यतायत भवज्जननी निनादः.
तावत् सदानववरोऽपि च दीनमूर्तिः भावत्कभारपरिधारणलूनवेगः सङ्कोचमापतदनुक्षतपां सुघोषे घोषे व्यतायत भवज्जननी निनादः. तावत् सदानववरोऽपि च दीनमूर्तिः भावत्कभारपरिधारणलूनवेगः सङ्कोचमापतदनुक्षतपां सुघोषे घोषे व्यतायत भवज्जननी निनादः.
That's right. रोधोपकर्णनवशादुपगम्य गेहं क्रन्दत्सु नन्दमुखगोपकुलेषु दीनः त्वां दानवस्त्वखिल मुक्तिकरं मुमुक्षुः त्वय्यप्रमुञ्चति पपात बियत्प्रदेशात्. So when they all come and then Yashoda says, what, Krishna is missing, right? So now everybody's panic, they're not worried about any property or things that they have lost. They all start going and running around trying to find where Krishna is. So meanwhile, Trinavarta, who has taken Krishna up, right? So now Krishna is becoming heavier and heavier. So what he first showed in stanza 1 to Yashoda is an indication that today my Leela is going to be, I'm going to become heavy. Right? And so he then becomes heavy and heavier that Trinavarta is not able to hold on to Krishna anymore. Right? So this is kind of telling is it doesn't matter whether you are a Putana or a Trinavarta. The moment you have decided to take Krishna towards you, even if you want to discard Krishna, he's not going to let you discard. Same thing happened with Putana, right? When she was giving him the breastfeeding him, at one point she was yelling, saying, "Let me go." But Krishna wouldn't let her go because she's already caught on to Krishna. Same thing here with Trinavarta. He's also trying to let Krishna go, but he's not able to drop Krishna, right? Because once you absorb, what do you call, get into Krishna, then that's it. You're stuck with him, right? So same thing happens to Trinavarta. And then finally, he's not able to bear Krishna's weight anymore. And then both of them come falling down. So we'll see what happens in the next stanza. But here, both of them come falling down from the sky. Rodopakarnana Vashad Upagamya Geham, Krandatsu Nanda Mukha Gopa Kuleshu Dinaha Twam Danavas Twakila Muktikaram Mumukshuhu. Put a visargan comma. Mukshuhu. Next line is will go away. Tvaya Pramunchati Papata Biyak Pradeshad. So it says my connection is unstable. So let me know if I break for any second.
Rajesh, I did not hear that, Rajesh.
Oh, okay. I'll repeat I'll repeat third and fourth again.
Can you say that again?
So third and fourth line. Like which line do you want? Wait.
The third and fourth line. I don't know if it's just me, but
my connection went unstable for a second. So Twam Danavas Twakila Muktikaram Mumukshuhu. Put a visarga and comma there. Fourth line, the is, if you have it, that will go away. Tvaya pramunchati papata biyat pradeshat. Rodhopakarnana. Sorry, somebody. Rodhopakarnana vashad upagamya geham krandat sunanda mukha gopa kuleshu dinaha tvam danavastvakila muktikaram mumukshuhu Tvaya pramunchati papata biyat pradeshat.
Rodopakarnanavashadubhagamya geham krandatsunandamukhagopakuleshu dinaha Tvam danavastvakhilamuktikaram mumukshuhu Tvaya pramunjati papada viyat pradeshad Rodopakarnanavashadubhagamya geham krandatsunandamukhagopakuleshu dinaha Tvam danavastvakhilamuktikaram mumukshuhu Tvaya pramunjati papada viyat pradeshad.
रोदोपकर्णनवशादुपगम्य गेहम् क्रन्दस्तु नन्दमुखगोपकुलेषु दीनः त्वां दानवस्त्वखिलमुक्तिकरं मुमुक्षुः त्वय्यप्रमुञ्चति पपात वियत्प्रदेशात् रोदोपकर्णन वशादुपगम्य गेहं कन्दत्सु नन्दमुखगोपकुलेषु दीनः त्वां दानवस्त्वखिलमुक्तिकरं मुमुक्षुः त्वय्यप्रमुञ्चति पपात वियत्प्रदेशात्.
I just want to finish 6 and 7 today, so we just say one time, and then I'll combine the meaning of those. Roda kulas tadanu gopa gana bahishta, put a plus, pashana prishtha bhuvi deham atista vishtam. So those two lines together. Praikshanta hanta nipatantam amushya. If you want to break at that, nipatantam amushya vaksha, and then put a plus. Vakshasyakshinameva. That word will come together as one word. Vakshasyakshinameva cha bhavantamalam hasantam. Rodha kulas tadanu gopagana bahishta pashana prishta bhuvideham vishtam. Praikshanta hanta nipatantam vakshasyakshinameva cha bhavantamalam hasantam.
रोताकुलास्तदनु गोपगणा बहिष्ठ पाषाणपृष्ठभुवि देहमधिस्थविष्ठम् प्रैक्षन्त हन्त निपतन्तममुष्य वक्षस्य क्षीणमेव च भवन्तमलं हसन्तम्
रोदाकुलास्तदनु गोपगणा बहिष्ठा पाषाणपृष्ठभुवि देहमतिस्थविष्टम् प्रैक्षन्त हन्त निपतन्तं ममुप्यवक्षस्य क्षीणमेव च भवन्तमलं हसन्तम्.
Third line, nipatantam amushya or nipatantamamushya.
Nipatantamamushya vaksha. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
Stanza 7. Grava prapata paripishta garishta deha, put a plus, brashtasu dushta danujopari drishta asam. Those lines together. Agnanam ambuja. I'm just breaking at that ma. Agnanam ambuja karena bhavantametya, comma, gopa dhadur girivaradiva nila ratnam. Grava prapata paripishta garishtha deha bhrashta sudushta danujo paridrishtahasam. Agnanam ambuja karena bhavantametya gopa dhadur girivaradiva nila ratnam.
ग्रावप्रपादपरिपृष्टगरिष्ठदेह भ्रष्टासुदुष्टदनुजोपरिधृष्टहासम् आज्ञानमम्बुजकरेण भवन्तमेत्य गोपादधुर्गिरिवरादिव नीलरत्नम्
प्रपातपरिपिष्टगरिष्ठदेह भ्रष्टासुदुष्ट धनुजोपरिदृष्ट हासन् आघ्नानम् अम्बुजकरेण भवन्तमेत्य गोपादधुर्गिरिवरादिव नीलरत्नम्.
Second line, last word, drishtahasam.
दृष्टहासं धनुजोपरि धृष्टहासम्.
I'll quickly say the meaning of the 6 and 7. So as they are wondering, what happened and everybody's crying, as because Trinavarta could not hold on to Krishna, both Trinavarta and Krishna come down, falling from the sky. And then when these Gopas, they hear a loud bang outside and they all run out. They see on a big block of stone, they see this Trinavarta in the Asura form lying on that stone. And on top of Trinavarta, there is a baby Krishna who is Bhavantam Alam Hasantam, who is laughing and playing on top of Trinavarta. And then Trinavarta's body was shattered because it actually fell on this big stone. So everybody, they then had to climb onto the stone and climb onto the body of Trinavarta and then go take the baby Krishna out of there. And Bhattacharya, being a poet, says it was as if they were going and Gopa Dhadur Giri Varadiva Neela Ratnam. It's as if they had to climb a mountain because there was a blue gem which was sitting on top of that mountain. So they had to then climb the mountain and pluck that blue gem from the top of the mountain and then come down. Sri Krishna was fine, and then they finally got Krishna down, and then Trinavarta was dead because he fell on that block of stone as well. So with this, we'll end this Dashakam today. I mean, there's still a few more stanzas, but we'll end the class today. Sri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Sandhanandhavabodhatmakamanupamitam kaladeshavadibhyam nirmuktam nityamuktam nigamashatasahasrena nirbhasyamanam aspashtam drishtapatre punarurupurushartatmakam brahmatattvam tattavad bhati sakshat gurupavanapure hanta bhagyam jananam kahena vacha manasendriyerva buddhyatmana va prakrute swabhavat karomi yatyat sakalam parasmai narayanaayeti samarpayami. Thank you all. Next weekend we won't have any class. Most of you will be out for Memorial Day, so we'll meet the week after then.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone.